Tonight, wanted for arson.
They obviously came prepared with the jerry cans and the glass bottles.
The crimes caught on camera in Brant County.
I was definitely terrified and shocked to see all that.
And the other clues investigators are working with. Mall evacuation.
I'm about to start my shift and I just seen just people leaving.
The call today that cleared out.
Everybody is just very confused, a little bit concerned.
The Cambridge Centre. Wilmot development questions.
Can't imagine a company considering a site anywhere that they haven't already assessed.
The Quebec company that's considering the township for a major data center. And the pushback.
This is the most absurd location one can think of for a data center.
From those against a mega site. Good evening. We begin in Brant County tonight, and an act of arson caught on camera. Police are looking for 4 suspects who set fire to a business using Molotov cocktails. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has been following this investigation for us and joins us now live with an update. Alexandra, police are saying that this incident was targeted.
That's right, Tony. Police say they believe the business was singled out based on how the suspects interacted in the surveillance footage. But as for why, both the employee and the building's landlord tell us they have no idea. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, 4 masked people make their way to a Brant County business. Jerry cans and glass bottles in hand, they set fire to the front of the building.
We're pretty sure that it was like a Molotov cocktail attempt.
Today, the smell of gasoline still lingers outside, the soot staining walls, windows, and walkways. As police search for suspects, one employee says the incident has left him shaken.
It was scary. It was a shock.
CTV News is not identifying the employee due to safety concerns.
I've never seen something like this before, so it was definitely a shocker.
CTV News spoke to the building's landlord off camera. He says this type of behavior is rare for the area, and he isn't sure why the business was targeted.
It could be intentional. It could be they're trying to break in to steal something. We're not sure at all.
Police pointing to possible signs in the surveillance videos.
There was some communication made by them. We could see on video surveillance that they were communicating with somebody, and it seemed like they were trying to make sure that this was the correct building.
The fire didn't spread and no injuries were reported. The business says it's amping up security measures.
We're going to have security over here, during off business hours, no matter what. But at the same time, we are definitely upgrading our security surveillance system too.
Police are urging anyone with information regarding the 4 suspects or video footage from early Tuesday morning between 1:30 and 3 o'clock to come forward. Tony?
Okay, CTV's Alexandra Hollick live with our top story tonight. Alexandra, thank you. The Cambridge Centre was evacuated today after police say they got a call about a bomb threat targeting the shopping mall. CTV's Karis Map now on what proved to be a confusing morning for shoppers and workers.
Everybody is just very confused, a little bit concerned.
Cambridge Centre was temporarily closed Thursday morning. Dozens of people gathering in the parking lot awaiting an update after multiple police officers evacuated the shopping centre.
I witnessed 2 cop cars coming in, and I thought, okay, that's strange. And then I heard more sirens, and all of a sudden another 4 cop cars showed up, and they walked into the mall. They asked people not to follow them. And then over a period of the last, well, it's been an hour, they've evacuated all of the staff out of the building.
With the mall set to open at 10, many preparing to begin work.
I just walked from the parking lot to the store because I'm about to start my shift, and I just seen just people leaving, and then they just told me, let me know that they were evacuating. They're evacuating the building, and that's really all that they knew.
Police confirmed to CTV News this morning they were called about a suspicious package.
There's no ambulances here, there's no bomb squad, they're not forcing us to stay away from the building. So it's kind of like you're not sure what's going on, but it doesn't feel serious, but it doesn't feel not serious if they've cleared an entire building.
In an update provided later in the afternoon, police said mall staff called in an online report of a bomb in the building. On the Cambridge Centre website, anyone can use the digital assistant chat feature to inquire about a variety of questions or concerns. Following a search, police say nothing suspicious was found and the threat is not believed to be credible. Everyone was allowed back in the building shortly before noon. Mall officials told CTV they would not be commenting on the situation. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Cambridge.
Let's get a first check on the weather now. Alex Pinto in studio with us for the latest. Alex, not a lot of complaints about today. Kind of felt a lot like yesterday did, actually.
Especially with a little bit of the breeze that we're noticing out there, too. So, yeah, not a bad day overall. One thing we keep watching, though, if we're going to get any wet weather before the weekend. So the other day it looked like we were, then yesterday it looked like not, and then today looks like we might be in for a chance for that, which we'll get into a little bit later. But right now, pretty clear out there in Kitchener, Waterloo and surrounding areas, much of southern and southwestern Ontario, just seeing a bit of cloud cover. And if you are, that sun still trying to peek through the clouds. We are noticing a little bit of hazy conditions from local smoke that is still in the area as well. Right now, 28 degrees. That was our high, and we did hit that officially this afternoon. 26 in London, 28 if you are in Sarnia. And with that humidex, not feeling significantly warmer, but 31, it's feeling more like in Kitchener, Waterloo, Hamilton, and the city of Toronto this hour. So we're definitely still feeling the heat out there, but yes, the possibility for a little bit of active weather could be on the way. So we're going to break that all down in your full forecast a little bit later. Tony.
Alex, thank you. We'll talk to you shortly. Next, we turn to a major break in a homicide investigation. Police announcing today that they've made an arrest in the death of an international student who was struck by a stray bullet in Hamilton back in April. Here's CTV's John Musselman.
21-year-old Hizrimat Randawa was waiting for a bus in Hamilton when she was killed by a stray bullet last April. Investigators say it happened during an exchange of gunfire between two groups right across the street. The scene is at Upper James Street and South Bend Road. Today, Hamilton police announced an arrest in this case. 32-year-old Jordane Foster of Niagara Falls has been charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. Investigators say they are looking for more suspects.
Investigators know that there's at least 7 people that were involved in this argument, in this dispute, that has resulted in Hizrimat's death.
Randawa was an international student from India who attended Mohawk College. She was hit in the chest by the bullet. She was rushed to a hospital, but she did not survive. A vigil was held on campus in her memory a short time after the murder. Police are saying very little about the motive. They are working to identify the other suspects involved in this homicide.
And that was CTV's John Musselman in Hamilton. The man wanted in an ongoing death and arson investigation in Bracebridge is dead. Autopsy results show 29-year-old Mitchell Gray of Bracebridge, who was wanted for murder, is now believed to have died of smoke inhalation. This was in connection with an incident that took place last Friday, where the OPP responded to reports of gunfire at a home on Beatrice Town Line Road. Police confirmed the 2 deceased who were located at the property that was in flames were a 60-year-old man and a 59-year-old woman who both died from gunshot wounds. A jury in Simcoe has acquitted the grandson of an elderly woman who was found stabbed to death in her home 2.5 years ago. The body of 90-year-old Marlene Wilson was found with 3 stab wounds to the chest at her home in Waterford in February 2023. Her grandson, 36-year-old Jordane Wilson, would be charged, I should say, and was then on trial for second-degree murder in connection with her death. However, after listening to all of the evidence at the trial, the jury deliberated for 8 hours and returned with a verdict of not guilty. During the trial, the court heard that there were 3 others living with Marlene Wilson at the time of her death. Provincial police are reporting a massive seizure near Simcoe. They've confiscated more than $50 million worth of illegal cannabis. The OPP say more than 100,000 plants were seized and 950 pounds of cannabis buds. Police say they also seized several production assets like grow lights, machinery, and other equipment. 16 people facing a total of more than 30 charges. Big questions in Wilmot tonight. A Quebec company confirms it is considering the township for a new multi-billion-dollar AI data center. What's not clear is whether farmland that the region has been acquiring and assembling for development is involved. CTV's Colton Weens is live with more. So, Colton, a lot of questions here, but let's run through what we do know at this point.
Well, Tony, as you mentioned, a lot of questions here, but the CEO of Q-Scale specifically mentioned Wilmot as one of the places being considered for this data center, a project they plan to spend between $2.5 and $4 billion on. And separately, we know that the region has been touting the land it's assembling as an effort to bring in more jobs. This image is an example of the kind of AI data center Quebec-based Q-Scale wants to build in Ontario. The company's CEO, Martin Bouchard, tells CTV News that for competitive reasons, he's staying tight-lipped about exactly what sites are under consideration, but confirms Wilmot Township is one of many regions they're looking at. The region of Waterloo has been assembling parcels of land in the Bleems Road and Nafziger Road area for the past year and a half. In a statement to CTV News, they reiterate that the 770 acres they're trying to acquire is aimed at bringing more jobs to the area, but isn't tied to a specific business or end user at this time, saying any future investment would be subject to further approvals before it could proceed. People who've been fighting the plan to develop the farmland say they don't feel this area makes sense for a data center.
This is the most absurd location one can think of for a data center for so many different reasons. We don't have the electricity, we don't have the water, we don't have the cooling. There are better sites and better locations closer to the infrastructure that's going to be needed because there is so little of the needed infrastructure in this location.
An engineering professor at the University of Waterloo says data centers tend to be relatively large, but likely wouldn't take up the entire 770 acres that the region has identified for development.
That would be bigger than the world's largest. Many of them are not that big that have already been built. There is a trend to, in some areas, to bigger, but it really would be up to the understanding the company what they think the marketplace is as to whether they need a 10-acre or a 50-acre site.
Straub adds data centers of this size need anywhere from hundreds of kilowatts to hundreds of megawatts of power and isn't sure if there is infrastructure to support that in Wilmot.
I can't imagine a company considering a site anywhere that they haven't already assessed that there is access to really good quality and high amounts of power. So I don't think we even know the actual site, whether it's that 700 acres or not. But all I'm saying is that I can't imagine a data center that's not located where they know they have an excellent supply of power.
So again, the region isn't making any link to its plans in Wilmot, and Q-Scale's decision to go public with shortlisting Wilmot. We should note last month's Ontario's energy minister was in Kitchener touting the province's intention to support data centers that meet specific criteria and to prioritize electricity for data centers that bring good-paying jobs. Tony.
Okay, lots of conversations underway on this topic. We'll keep an eye on them. Colton, thanks so much. CTV's Colton Weens live with us. It's been a remarkable run, rising to the top of the tennis world. Tonight, Burlington's Vicky Mboko will compete in the National Bank Open final. And as CTV's Janice Golding tells us, she's had to overcome injury and defy the odds to get there.
This was the moment of victory. Burlington's Victoria Mboko winning a nail-biter to make it to the finals of the National Bank Open.
Congratulations, and you're going to the final.
Oh my God. Canada's newest tennis star playing the longest game of her career yesterday in a 2-hour, 46-minute-long tie-breaking match against the 9th-seeded Elena Rybakina.
This is one of the greatest moments for tennis in Canada, rivaling 2019 when Bianca won our tournament in Toronto. I've been saying it for a long time now. She's a future #1.
A thrilling semifinal match many called must-see TV, especially given Mboko had to overcome a first-set loss and an injured wrist.
She was down match point against Elena Rybakina last night and rallied to win in that tie break. It was an absolutely incredible match. We saw her, fall on her wrist early in the third set, and I think probably at that time a lot of people thought maybe this is the end, but her resilience under pressure has been phenomenal.
Mboko herself seemed surprised by the victory.
Unfortunately, I fell, but I had everyone supporting me and pushing me through. So without you guys, I don't think I would have been able to pull this through.
Crediting her fans for their support.
Well, I feel optimistic that, she's going to continue to advance.
It definitely inspires me to try harder and never give up like her. I'm pretty happy about this.
Being a professional tennis player here in our town is great. So we feel really happy and proud.
Yesterday's win moves the 18-year-old up to 34th in the world rankings after she began the year outside the top 300. The win also means Maboko will play four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka of Japan in tonight's final.
Osaka is really, really good, yeah. But you know what? Osaka can be rattled, right? So you never know. I definitely think she has a chance.
A meteoric rise for a Burlington teen who was said, had anyone told her last year she was going to be in the final, she wouldn't have believed it. Yesterday's win extending her remarkable streak.
CTV's Janice Golding, and we should note the first set of the final in Montreal underway right now, tied at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Coming up, in a world where everything's been going digital, Guelph's paid parking lots are joining the party. CTV Spencer Turcotte on the shift that's getting rid of gates.
A hot Thursday evening out there. Pretty nice conditions overall, but we could be in for a little bit of active weather before we officially begin the weekend. I'll have the details coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Guelph is saying goodbye to parking lot gates. It's part of an effort to get commuters into and out of paid lots more quickly and easily. CTV Spencer Turcotte now on this new digital parking payment system.
Soon enough, these contraptions will become extinct, because the city of Guelph is saying gone with the gates.
Removing all of the gates from our municipal lots in the city of Guelph and transitioning to gateless parking structures and parking lots.
It comes down to aging gate infrastructure and eliminating barriers.
If you have to pay at the gate, creates a long line of traffic, which can be stressful for users.
Drivers will be able to come and go more quickly. People who have a permit can continue to use it. Physical pay stations will still be an option, but one feature making this transition more seamless is a parking management platform called Honk.
Anyone with a phone can access Honk, whether they've downloaded the app or not. So anyone with a phone can scan a QR code or send a text to a short code, and they have a parking meter in the palm of their hands.
City enforcement staff will be able to check whether license plates are registered through the platform to ensure every vehicle in the lot has paid for parking. Honk says they've also worked out kinks which saw bad actors in other cities post fake QR codes.
Every one of a Honk QR code is specifically branded, leads to a Honk website. All of Honk's QR codes will be, 10 feet or above in height. There'll also be a size that was harder to replicate. The city's folks will be, checking, all the signs.
As for hourly rates, they'll stay the same after the gates disappear. There's no cost to use the app, but anyone using Honk Mobile online will have to pay a 35-cent service fee. The city plans to have gates removed at parking lots sometime in November, and that's when new enforcement and payment systems will be in full effect. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Guelph.
A prominent human rights organization is demanding London Council change the name of a city street. They're calling for change because the person it's named after was alleged to have ties to the Second World War Nazi regime. CTV's Sean Irvin reports.
This street sign has been posted in an industrial area of southeast London for over 2 decades. Max Bros Drive sits near Bros Canada, one of several industries along the roadway. However, Max Bros himself has a dark past, according to the human rights organization Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Center. The FSWC cites Bros' record with the Nazi regime.
This man was happy to have Jewish and other slaves working in his plant to produce armaments for a genocidal war effort.
On its website, the Bros company contends its founder was determined to be a passive follower of the regime and not a Nazi activist. The center vehemently disagrees, calling him a major supporter of German National Socialism. They further contend the City of London should have known better than to have a street named after Max Bros in the first place. The centre says the sign is fundamentally incompatible with Canadian values and a stain on the nation's good name. It's demanding the mayor's office and city officials take action. In a letter sent to the mayor dated July 31st, the FSWC calls for Max Bros Drive to be renamed. The organization acknowledges it had been unaware of the street until recently.
Certainly we were surprised to find out that there was a street in London named after a Nazi.
CTV News reached out to the mayor's office for comment. We've been told he had just become aware of the letter and is preparing to review it. The centre hopes that happens quickly.
This is on the property of a government and of a nation that fought the Nazis at great expense, at great cost, and we find this unacceptable.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Pop star Justin Timberlake is the latest celebrity to announce he's been battling Lyme disease, but experts say cases of the tick-borne illness are on the rise in Canada, including right here in southern Ontario.
So over the past 3 or 4 years, we've seen the number of cases roughly double. I know we had 20 cases last year, which may not sound like a lot, but prior to 2020, we were seeing fewer than 10 in a given year. So we are seeing more cases being reported to us. Part of that probably reflects the expanded areas of the province and our area and our community where these ticks that carry Lyme disease are active, but probably also reflects increased recognition. The fact people are more aware now about the fact that Lyme disease exists.
For more on the symptoms and prevention, you can watch the entire interview with Leanne Evans and Dr. Matthew Tenenbaum over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. A new study suggests kids and young adults who spend too much time staring at screens have a greater chance of developing cardiovascular diseases. Danish researchers tracked the screen and sleep habits of more than 1,010 10 and 18-year-olds. They found that those who spent excessive hours in front of electronic devices were at higher risk of health issues such as high blood pressure and high cholesterol, as well as diabetes and insulin resistance. Their analysis found that each additional hour of daily screen time increased the risk of disease. Well, here's a live look outside right now. It's turned into a rather sunny Thursday evening and a lot less hazy than it was earlier this week, too. Things have really cleared up air quality wise. But what does the temperature look like and what's our chance of rain as we head toward this next weekend in August? Alex Pinto is back in a couple of moments with the full forecast. Also ahead. They are the kind of facilities that many take for granted, but a new laundry center and washroom in Guelph are expected to truly change lives. CTV's Heather Centerin is going to tell us why. And later in the hour, the call for books. Guelph organizes another big book sale. CTV's Ashley Bacon tells us how it's aiming to help build something even bigger. And we'll be live on location with this story.
I'm Krista Simpson at the Hydrocut Trail in Kitchener, where police are rolling out a new tool in the effort to combat bicycle theft. The app they're using to help reunite stolen bicycles with their rightful owners. That story is just ahead.
Alex is back with our extended forecast now, and we're heading into the second weekend of August. I'm going to turn around my attitude about summer and say we've still got a lot of summer left to go.
We do.
Dozens of days.
Dozens, I love that, dozens of days. But how are we into the second weekend in August?
I don't know, but I've got tomorrow and Monday off, and I'm going to be on a lake in Halliburton.
Perfect.
And it'll be the first time this summer that I've gotten out really outside of the city for some relaxation. So it's gonna be nice.
Well, the good news, the weekend's going to look pretty good for you, which
I love it.
Great.
Because I was keeping my eye on it all week going, is it going to be good?
The only day we might have to worry about is tomorrow. And as of yesterday, it didn't look like anything was coming our way tomorrow, but Mother Nature changing her plans a little bit. You noted a little bit earlier, too, that haze is starting to dissipate even more. So pretty nice to see as we take a live look outside this hour. That sun's still shining. We are noticing that sunset, though, earlier and earlier as the days pass, but just a few clouds out there. So overall, a very comfortable, very nice day to enjoy. So I know we keep saying it's a nice day for a patio dinner or getting outside on the deck, but yeah, we want to enjoy these days of summer while we can. So as we get into the rest of the evening, pretty nice conditions overall. So mainly some clear skies, a couple of clouds expected for most of southern and southwestern Ontario. It's not until tomorrow we could see that chance for a few scattered showers further to the north, Wyerton, even a little bit if you are along the shores of Lake Huron there, 10 a.m. or so. Chance for a bit of wet weather for you. So it's not until the afternoon, getting into the evening hours for us here in Waterloo region. We do have a 60% chance for some wet weather and a thunderstorm risk, as now new for us today. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If you are planning to be a little bit further north, Mount Forest or even in Cottage Country, Barrie, really a chance for a bit of wet weather for you as well, and a risk of a thunderstorm too. So once that does pass, though, getting into your Saturday, things looking pretty good overall. We are starting to just see this past hour a few more scattered showers potentially for your weekend, but overall it should be pretty nice conditions. So hopefully it stays that way. 26 it is here in Kitchener-Waterloo. We've gone down a couple of degrees since we last checked in. Slightly cooler by the water. 26 in Mount Forest, 27 in Barrie. Not feeling that extreme humidity today, so it's feeling more like 29. It was feeling like into the low 30s here in Waterloo region earlier. 30 it's feeling like in London, and 32 in the city of Hamilton. So we did hit our high of 28 earlier this afternoon. Record high, 38 degrees. That was set back in 1918, and on this day in 1948, we saw a record overnight low of just 6 degrees. So if you're hoping to get that sunset, should be pretty nice overall out there this evening. You have until 8:37 p.m. to get that shot, and hey, maybe send us a weather watcher picture or two. Overnight, 16 degrees, clear conditions, so pretty comfortable overall, which is nice to see. And yeah, that local smoke has pretty much past us, which is nice at this point. So for tomorrow, 30 is our expected high with a humidex feeling more like 36. And again, the afternoon is when we could see that risk of a thunderstorm. 60% chance of showers for most of the day. Earlier morning, getting into the afternoon, mix of sun and cloud is expected for us. So once we get past whether or not we're going to see a thunderstorm or not tomorrow, the weekend looking pretty good for Waterloo region. Mix of sun and cloud for your Saturday, sunny sky for your Sunday, and we should hit 30 and 31 over the weekend. For Lambton, Kenton, Essex, jealous for you tomorrow. You've got some nice sunshine, mainly sunny skies. Expected high of 30 and a little bit of a sunny stretch as we get into the rest of your weekend. And southern Georgian Bay, chance for some wet weather. Risk of a thunderstorm for you as well before we could see a mix of sun and cloud for your Saturday. And here is tonight's weather watcher picture. Betty sending us this beautiful, beautiful shot of some sunflowers from a local farm in Atwood. So we've been seeing some great shots lately of some sunflower farms coming into our email there. And the season is officially underway. So I learned that it actually runs from late June through to early September with peak blooming periods early to mid-August. So this makes sense why we are seeing so many beautiful shots. And hey, learning something new every day. So
Betty got those sunflowers at their peak.
Betty did. Thank you for sending that and being tonight's weather watcher.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, something exciting you had a chance to do today.
Yes.
Of course, all of this warm weather and summer in full swing. Really, nothing beats sitting outside and enjoying some fresh Ontario produce when it's in season. And actually, speaking of things in season, peach season is here.
Yes, peach season, one of my favorite times of the year, I've got to say. And yeah, nothing beats it. Just sitting outside, nice warm summer day, enjoying a bowl of fruits. We did have a chance earlier to visit Hurley's Country Farm Market to highlight some other Ontario fruits you can find at local grocery stores, farm stores, markets, even those roadside stands.
We're sort of in the heart of Ontario produce. Like, we've got great peaches, we've got sweet corn, tomatoes, watermelon, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. The list is pretty long right now. Very much, quite a bit longer than it is in a month or two. But right now we're just so much good stuff. We don't have enough meals in the day to be able to eat it all. It's been a really positive experience so far this year, where there's been a renewed push and focus on local and where our food comes from. And we have a lot of discussion around food and farmland in our area, in our region. But really, when it comes down to it, if we care about that, we need to support the local community. And we feel very supported. Ontario is definitely seeing an uptick in how people are shopping. They're picking their spots as to where they shop and what their products are, and definitely a focus on Ontario.
Focus on Ontario, and yeah, like James mentioned too, it's one of the best times of the year because of the variety that we're seeing, which we don't normally see earlier on in the season. So August is definitely one of the best times to have that variety and again enjoy all those peaches. Definitely my favorite time of year.
Alex, I can taste those strawberries as we look at them. Nothing beats Ontario. Oh, and then
sweet
corn.
My only regret was not picking up a bag of these.
No kidding. Of course, we've got the whole segment online too. You can watch this over at ctvnewskitchener.ca, and you can really dig into Ontario produce.
Yes, love it. Such a fun day.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Well, every year, hundreds of bikes get stolen in Waterloo region, but the fact is very few are actually returned to their rightful owners. Tonight, a new tool aiming to change that as police partner with a bicycle registration program. CTV's Krista Simpson live now along the Hydro-Cut Trail in Kitchener, where police are launching the 529 Garage program, and they're offering to register cyclists who come by. Krista.
Well, Tony, it is a pretty simple process to register a bicycle on this app. You put in some basic information, a few photos, and then put what's called a shield on the bicycle, essentially the equivalent of a license plate. Then, if that bike is ever stolen, the owner can use their 529 Garage account to put out an alert to people in the area, increasing the number of eyes looking for it. They're also prompted to report the theft to police at that point. The information in the app also gives police and law enforcement important details that can help them reunite the bike with its rightful owner.
There's definitely a sense of resignation where they're I didn't even know to report it because I thought, I would just never see it again. So what's the point is the feeling. But I encourage you, anytime you have any property stolen, call it, give us a report so we have something to work with. I promise you, me as a police officer, all of WRPS, we care about you and your property, and we want to be able to get this property back to the rightful owner.
So here are some numbers, Tony. Regional police say that between 2019 and 2024, more than 5,400 bikes were stolen in Waterloo region. About 432 were successfully recovered. So they are hoping this app will help change that. Now, the registration event here is wrapping up soon, but police say they are planning on holding more in the future. They're encouraging people in the region to register their bikes on the app. All you have to do is provide an email address for contact information, and it doesn't cost the user anything to register their bicycle. Tony.
Okay, sure that's going to spark a lot of interest. CTV's Krista Simpson live at the Hydro-Cut tonight. Krista, thank you. We'll have more at 11:30. And coming up next here on CTV News at 6, the Prime Minister is still not saying when he and U.S. President Trump might finally touch base on the latest with the trade war. But Premier Ford is back on U.S. television today trying to make a point to Americans. That story next. Well, Donald Trump was bragging today about the billions of dollars a month that will flow into U.S. coffers as more than 60 countries feel the pain of today's latest round of reciprocal tariffs. We are already seeing backlash in the U.S. and elsewhere, with countries pushing back and moving away from trade with the U.S. CTV's Michael Couture has the latest on the impact on both sides of the border.
We're having discussions with the Americans.
Prime Minister Carney wouldn't say when he'll next speak to U.S. President Donald Trump, but Ontario's premier didn't mince words when asked about how Canadians see the American leader.
He's probably the most disliked politician in the world in Canada.
In an interview on CNN, Doug Ford tried to explain to Americans that these tariffs are hurting them.
When you see 37,000 Americans have lost their jobs, that can't pay the rent or can't pay a mortgage, put food on their table, and this is just going to grow even more.
A new report from Yale University shows the current tariffs will hit American consumers.
We're expecting an adjustment of about over $2,000 to, their real household income and sort of purchasing power.
The impact could be felt in back-to-school shopping, as the tariffs will make shoes 40% more expensive, and the price of other clothes will rise by 38% because of import duties. Meantime, the impact on Canada's economy is being measured by the Royal Bank. In June, 92% of Canadian exports crossed into the U.S. duty-free because they are covered under the current trade agreement, leaving 8% subject to punishing tariffs.
That portion of trade is unfortunately facing an average tariff rate of 30%.
Still, the overall impact on the Canadian economy is relatively small at this point, but sectors like steel and aluminum continue to suffer. While campaigning ahead of his by-election in Alberta, Pierre Poilievre criticized Carney's handling of the trade talks.
He's been bending over backwards for the president and so far has gotten nothing in return.
Now, Prime Minister Carney continues to say he will speak to the U.S. president when it makes sense, but there is no clear indication of exactly when that could be. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
All right, we're going to recap our top stories now. Leanne Evans in studio with us for the very latest. Leanne, police searching for 4 suspects in an arson investigation.
Yeah, they set fire to a Brant County business, Tony, using Molotov cocktails, and it was all caught on camera. It happened early Tuesday morning. Police believe this was a targeted incident, but store employees say they're not sure why. Police are urging anyone with information regarding the 4 suspects or video footage from early Tuesday morning between 1:30 and 3 o'clock to come forward. The Cambridge Centre was evacuated today after police say they got a call about a bomb threat targeting the shopping mall. Following a search, police say nothing suspicious was found and the threat is not believed to be credible. Everyone was allowed back in the building shortly before the noon hour. Mall officials told CTV they would not be commenting on the situation.
Okay, and our digital team has a lot of stories online as well, Leanne, including one about an investigation in Guelph.
Yes, a man is facing charges after he repeatedly and falsely reported a live shooter at his apartment building is where this call came in from. He allegedly did this to get a faster police response to the building. For more information on the story, you can scan the QR code, bottom corner of your screen, download the CTV News app, or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca for that story and some others. Tony.
Okay, Leanne Evans, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A charity in Guelph that's been a helping hand for the homeless has found another way to help those in need. They've just opened a new laundry center and an accessible washroom and shower. CTV's Heather Centerin hears firsthand how this is expected to make a difference in people's lives.
Royal City Mission in downtown Guelph is all about creating a safe space and welcoming community for all, especially the most vulnerable population.
Someone's already asked me to play a game of cards because they want to connect and chat. So yeah, just kind of drop in, hang out, connect.
The executive director of the registered charity says they have more reasons to drop in now that their new facilities are ready, an accessible shower, washroom, and laundry facilities.
People that are camping and living rough, yeah, they don't have access to running water necessarily, so it's a big deal.
It's a big deal for someone like Lisa, who comes to the center every day.
Oh, they're friendly, they're nice, and they give you food.
The new additions are a game changer for some.
There's nowhere that can get your laundry done, so you just throw them in the garbage and get new ones straight, wherever they give them.
For showers, she usually uses one at a public pool.
But then you have everybody showering beside you. They're all in the same shower, and it's like not ideal either.
So for people that are struggling, it's really important. Not just it's good for their well-being, but also sometimes for how other people perceive people. So a shower makes us all feel better.
With around 150 people dropping into the center daily, it's expected to make a difference in the lives of many.
This place is amazing. It's godsend.
The new addition made possible after 3 years of planning and more than $100,000 in federal funding and donations from community groups.
So this is all new to our community, but also new to us.
Some of the kinks are still being worked out, so the laundry and shower will be available to the public during drop-in hours in the next week or so.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Guelph.
Shai Day in Hamilton. Coming up, a hometown celebration for a stellar season. A giant in basketball is being celebrated in Hamilton tonight. NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was given the key to his hometown, recognition for a standout season. It was Shai Day in Hamilton. CTV's John Musselman was there.
So thousands gathered here for what was called Shai Rally Day. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not only one of the best basketball players in Canada, but also considered by many as one of the best basketball players in the world. And he grew up right here in Hamilton, going to high school at Sir Allan McNabb. Now today at the rally, they were celebrating the fact that not only did he win the MVP championship, he was also the playoff series MVP and the league MVP. His family was here to join him there with all the fans to show the trophy that they won this year. And also there are accolades from some of the people he grew up, talking about his determination, his passion, and everything that this city means in helping his development to reach the top.
Growing up, as I traveled across the world to countless states, cities, and countries, people always asked me where I was from. Some of my teammates and friends would opt to say Toronto, obviously, because it was more a recognizable city, and they didn't want to have to explain what and where Hamilton was on the map. I took pride in letting everyone know I was from Hamilton.
Today, he was given a key to the city by Mayor Andrea Horvath. And again tonight, he will be honored during the Hamilton Tiger Cats BC Lions football game with a special tribute. John Musselman, CTV News in Hamilton.
And we'll have more in a moment. First, let's check in with Alex.
In the mid-20s this hour, we'll take a look at just how warm it could get tomorrow morning in Wake Up Weather coming up. Stick around right here on CTV for E-Talk at 7 o'clock before back-to-back-to-back episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Then from 9 to 11, it's The Rookie.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
3 awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 105.3 Virgin Radio.
Leanne's back with some stories we're following for later tonight. Leanne?
Well, Tony, auto giant Toyota is predicting a huge hit to profits, the biggest the industry has seen. We'll have more details on the impact of the tariffs and loss projection. Also, there is a product safety recall to warn you about this evening about a brand of visors that are sold at Giant Tiger. We'll tell you why and which ones Health Canada put out the warning about at 11:30. Tony.
Okay, Leanne, thank you very much. And Alex, our weather did not disappoint today, and the weekend is oh so close.
I know, we're almost there. One more day. I mean, your weekend's officially starting
tonight. At midnight.
Like, not right now, midnight. Midnight tonight, your weekend will officially begin. And nice conditions, though, to start off your Friday morning. Mainly sunny conditions throughout from 6 right through until 10. We're going to be hitting about 25 degrees or so by 10 o'clock. But again, one thing we're going to keep an eye on, there is a 60% chance of showers for Waterloo region. Risk of a thunderstorm when we look at that afternoon. But at this point, the morning looking pretty nice. And who knows, maybe Mother Nature will change her mind.
Perhaps. And it's, you know, it's not that I mean to keep revealing our schedules on the air, but people do ask sometimes when we're off, you know, where's Alex,
Vacation.
Where's Tony, where's Leanne? So heads up, I'll be off tomorrow and Monday, and all will be fine. And finally for us tonight, Guelph is putting out a call to the community. They are looking for thousands of books.
So CTV's Ashley Bacon on how another big book sale is aiming to help build something even bigger.
Thousands of books destined for new homes.
Every morning we come in, there's a pile of books waiting, and the Friends do a phenomenal job of organizing the material and getting it ready for the sale.
For 4 days, starting September 25th, the big book sale will take place at the Bamco location in Guelph.
Donated last year was around 80,000 of the items because there were DVDs.
This is the 17th sale put on by Friends of the Guelph Public Library. This year, looking to the community to donate everything from books, DVDs, CDs, and records. Ideally having items dropped off in bags rather than boxes for easier transportation and sorting.
Donations are being accepted at the main library, the East Side branch, and the Westminster branch starting August 5th through to September 12th.
The effort also resulting in a large sum of money being raised.
Fundraising over the years, we've raised $1 million.
Friends donated $1 million to the Guelph Public Library in 2023, and that money is going directly to support the new Central Library, which is being built on 55 Baker Street.
Keeping the community and the joy of reading at the forefront of the fundraiser.
One of our core mandates is to improve literacy and to make reading available and to promote lifelong learning, and this book sale goes to support that.
Organizers are hoping that this year's efforts will see around $100,000 raised. Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Guelph.
All for the love of reading. I saw some really old books in that footage.
Oh, yeah.
Some classics.
And it's nice, you know, when you're done with your reads and you don't need them anymore, why not kind of recycle?
Exactly. Rehome them, as Ash was saying. You know?
Rehome them. We love that.
All right. That is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back here at 11:30 with your next local news after the CTV National News. I'll see you again on Tuesday. You'll be here tomorrow?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. And Krista Simpson will be here with you tomorrow night as well. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Take care.